Going into the CBL 2021 season, it was very important to us because we had been really working hard this entire time. Zoom sessions, training, social distancing. I mean, we applied so much getting prepared for this season. Once it finally came, we were ready to hit the ground running. Going into the season, man, we knew that we was going to face a lot of physicality from teams in London. A lot of those teams, Southwood Legends, Chiswick Gators, London Elite. Those teams were some tough teams. Even Brent Panthers were really tough for us. London Elite, one of our biggest rivalries. Those guys, they always come to play every single game. They come with the emotion, they come with the passion. And the previous season, we lost to them in under 12s, but we just didn't have an opportunity to get back at them because of COVID. So this year we were determined when we met them that we was gonna, set the record straight and let them know who run the city. These teams, they really had an eye out for us. They were all motivated to come after us, especially after winning last year. Going into the season, we came out, the first game we had to face was against the Chiswick Gators. That first game was a little intimidating because of the size that we had to face, but we had Zaire, we had Christian that game to help lead those Division II under 12s to a victory. We win the first game, boom. Second game, boom. Third game. We win these games and we're on a high right now. Then here we go, we run into London Elite, which was a surprise. We had played already 2 games that day, back to back. Then we had to face them again at 1. And so we were just determined to go out there and battle it out. That game was very intense. I mean, everything about that game was just so dramatic. And we lost that game by 6 points, I want to say, the same amount we lost the last season to London Elite. So that was disappointing. Before I got mad with our players, I held myself accountable and I told our players, I said, you know what? I'm not even mad at you. Like, that's my fault because I didn't prepare you mentally. I didn't prepare you mentally, but it's okay. We're gonna fix it. After that game, every game was a clear blowout. We was just running through teams back to back to back to back because we wanted to face London Elite again. We wanted to send a message and make it clear who we were, and that would never happen again. Even after that London Elite game, Christian, man, he set a record for our program with 36 points against the Brent Panthers. I mean, he was just out there on fire. I wouldn't take him out of the game at all for no reason. I knew that he had what it take, and I saw his confidence rising, and he just went out and just set him on fire, man. He was hitting threes. He was hitting all kind of shots from everywhere. And he had to go against Toby, who was another top guard in the league, and they were just battling it out back and forth, back and forth. And we came out victorious. Going into the Final Four, we had worked hard all season. We knew our work wasn't done yet. I wasn't able to make it. I had got sick, I got COVID, and although I wanted to be there, since we have such a wonderful media team, I was able to watch it live. And Coach Anthony coached us through the entire Final Four and championship game. I think the first game we played against it was the Chiswick Gators. And we went out there and we ended up winning that game by 16 points. Coach Anthony did a phenomenal job coaching that team through adversity, pushing themselves. That was the first game that our program had without me being there. But there was no drop off. Now we into the finals and we had to face London Elite again. Another day that I couldn't be there. And it was very emotional for me, my family, also my son Zaire, and also to all other players and parents, because it's just not the same when one of us is missing, because we're such a close family. I mean, we had put in so much work, and we could always see ourselves being in that position, just to make the kids believe, to let them know that they can be more than what they thought they could be.
Fantastic season. Great bounce back after lockdown. They've been blessing us all season long with great basketball, great teamwork, great togetherness, great unity, and an exciting style of basketball that set the league alight. We appreciate you.
And to see those kids like raise their hands and see those fans stand up, those parents stand up and, you know, applaud the effort, the work that all those kids put in was so refreshing for me, man, just to watch them, you know, raise that trophy up with smiles on their faces to know that they run it. They run the city. Our Under-12s finals MVP was Christian. He went out and did what Christian normally does, man. He went out, he put points on the board, he played defense, he facilitated, he helped lead his team to a victory. Zaire, he was out there facing a lot, you know. His parents we weren't in the stands. He wasn't feeling well, he had a headache. And he's just still pushed himself through the game and was able to get at least 31 points, I want to say, and able to win the MVP for the season. To see him overcome that adversity and play the entire game and play at that high level like that at 10 years old was very impressive to me. All season long, TJ Green had led that team to victories through his leadership, on and off the court, his example in practice. Being vocal as a guard needs to be, as a leader needs to be. And he was just determined in that finals that he wasn't going to let them lose. He took the ball into his hands, he facilitated, he played both sides of the ball, and he put on the show. And TJ is built different. He's such a hard worker, humble kid, and he worked so hard, man. This kid turned out and ended up getting the finals MVP and the season MVP. Our Under-12s and our Under-14s team, they practice together all year long. They practiced all summer through COVID, through lockdown. They really became a family, and they battled day in and day out. And my message for them is to keep grinding, because you see what the results can be when you push yourself. When you put the work in, you should expect the results. Just like I tell them about school. If you only go to school once a week, then you should expect once a week results. But if you train every day and you push yourself, then you should expect the best. And they were able to show that at the end of the season. And now we're champions.